because it's like right now, it's like I see a lot of brands that they pick up their research through searching online, okay? And if that's where they get their research, then are they seeing the real personality and are they getting the real data? But back in the good old days, you know, in the 90s and all that stuff, it was through observation. You went to the Warped Tour to see what kids were wearing and what they were doing and listening to their conversations. And it's not like they were hiding behind some sort of digital platform or anything. And, you know, to me, it feels as if that is going to become an art form in and of itself, where you can just kind of collect online data and hope that the data is correct, or how much of it is correct. What's the, you know, the discrepancy on it, because is this these young people's real feelings? But then you're gonna have to go out and engage with them and, you know, have real people, not AI or robots or just data crunching or anything, and go, let's go out and observe young people and see how they behave. Let's go to the local restaurant and see what they're doing,
yep.
Right?
That immersion, that observation, that involvement, like, don't even get me started, because that's the big problem that majority of brands have, is they're gaining, when it comes to insights, when it comes to having that real true understanding of their consumer demographic, is brands have gotten so comfortable with just survey results.
Yeah.
And they aren't taking into consideration that these surveys, especially when you're dealing with the demographics that I focus on with youth culture, is that these surveys are being fielded to pro-survey takers, or they're being kind of worked through the parent, and the parent's taking them, or like it's bots.
Yeah.
And especially like the cheaper the surveys, like the less likely it's like human beings.
Yeah.
So the majority of youth data is coming from online surveys, and it's total bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, let's get real with it. Unless, you know, the mantra that I have with my insights team is, if you don't have mobile video capture from your survey, I'd prefer not to see the results. I don't buy it. Now, if it's being fielded in market, okay, like literally traditional insights, like you were talking about before.
Observations,
it happened.
Real time.
It happened. One of the things that, you know, has been very successful for us is that I have a joint venture with KidSay, and we have about 500 schools, and we're doing surveys 6 times a year with about 1,500 kids, different kids every time, and I didn't start this, so I could say it's masterful because Bob started this. It's a donation to the school, and then the kids like fill out these surveys with pen and pencil, and then the data is scraped and brought in. But what I think is most authentic, one, it's real people, but two, it's like they're not taking it for the cash. Whether they're checking boxes here and there that are off, you know, and stuff like that, but you know, it's just one good example, you know. But that mobile video surveys, or just doing ethnographic work, like in the field where you actually have talked to a human being, you'd be surprised how few people really are doing that kind of research now.
I don't think there's a lot of people doing that. I don't get those types of reports. I don't see them. I see just like people trying to sell me data. We did a Survey Monkey. We asked people these questions, and here's what they came back with.
And the bigger problem is that, and again, this isn't just limited to youth culture, is that things are changing so fast that if you're basing all these decisions off of one quick snapshot in time, and you're not kind of not necessarily longitudinal, but if you're not looking at that data in an ongoing capacity and have some form of ongoing dialogue, you're missing, I mean, you're getting just a really skewed view of what's going on. So one of the things that I do, which, you know, a lot of people ask me, like, how do you stay connected? And I'm like, I stay connected in a lot of ways, but one is I never assume or tell somebody I'm the demographic. I always involve an advisory group and an advisory council online in everything that I do. So that's another great way, where you can have 15, 30, 60. Those are actually some magic numbers that tend to work and be manageable. Bring those people along with you on the journey. And we can sit here as professionals and know that that's a great way to do it. But if you actually start counting the amount of brands that make big decisions without doing anything remotely close to that, it's huge numbers. People just make these kind of, kind of decisions that